ahead.
I'm Lainey.
And I'm Laura Beth.
And we are Steel Magnolias.
Two sisters who love family, traditions, and all things Southern.
We've got plenty of room at our table, so pull up a chair.
Hey, Lainey.
Hi, Laura Beth.
You know what makes me happy?
What's that?
Today's topic and the fact that people are seeing Steel Magnolias in the theaters this
Love
week.
it. Love both. We'll be in a theater on Tuesday.
Yep.
Super excited.
When this comes out, we will have already seen it probably. Oh, no, I guess we'll see it that night.
That night.
Yeah.
Yep. With some other listeners as well.
That's
so
right.
that's fun. Well, on today's topic, as we were discussing what we were going to talk about this week, I had a list of things I wanted to talk about that were summer.
We have a long list, actually.
We
Like,
do.
get ready, because we have seasonal lists.
Seriously, yeah. And you can always add to it, too.
Yes.
But anyway, so yeah, as I was thinking through seasonal things that we needed to discuss, I threw out an idea, not even thinking about, but it rhymed.
Yes.
So today, we're talking peaches and beaches.
Yes, this is so summer and so great. Two of my favorite things, peaches and beaches. And Lainey got all festive and made us cheers. A Kentucky Mule with your spin on it.
This is my little version that I love that has white peach syrup in it. So
it's so good. And
sticking
it's so
with
cold.
our topic.
The photo I just put on our Instagram story has the bubbles of coldness you can see on this mule glass. Like, it's just
I love
so
the mules
refreshing.
stay so cold in these copper mugs. So that is a fun part of this cocktail. But yeah, it's, got the traditional fresh lime juice, ginger beer, but I use a peach syrup instead of just a simple syrup. And
It's so good.
Yum.
It's so refreshing.
And I use the Old Bardstown Bottled and Bond that I got in Kentucky on our
Willet
little Willet
distillery
trip. Yep.
That was fun. Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. If you haven't gotten your hands on a cocktail of your choice, maybe you're pouring yourself some coffee, or maybe you've got your headphones in while you're doing some cleaning. Who knows? We've been hearing from people that listen to us at all hours of the day. So we're so glad to dive in, and let's start with peaches. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Big juicy peaches. I actually got some peaches yesterday from the Peach Truck.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard of the Peach Truck, let me just clue you in. It's a fun stop. It's not just the Nashville area that has the Peach Truck, but it really did come because a guy by the name of Stephen Rose moved here from Georgia, and he realized Nashville doesn't really have groceries that carry fresh peaches.
Yeah.
This is weird. Like, Georgia's right there. Like, what's why the gap? And so he, I guess, had spent his childhood summers in his hometown of Fort Valley, Georgia. And basically, after he established that Nashville had a peach problem, he and his wife just got to dreaming and started to figure out, okay,
we could deliver this.
How can we get these great Georgia peaches to all the Nashvillians? And they, in the summer of 2012, sold peaches out of like an old Jeep.
Love it.
In the Nashville area. And within 5 weeks, the city had consumed over 10 tons of their brown bagged peaches.
Unreal.
So, needless to say, Nashville no longer had a peach problem. And now the Peach Truck is on corners of Nashville, Franklin, the Middle Tennessee area. But then they also go on tour to various states. So that's why I wanted to mention it here, because it's not just for Nashvillians.
And it's not even just in the South.
So So
I saw that they're now in these states: Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Texas, and Florida.
That's awesome. Or you can order them online, but it is fun to go stop by and actually see them and touch them and pick them out.
And I think they just bag up whatever is ripe now, like not picking variety that you want and all that. It's like, here's what's ripe now.
Here's what's available, yes.
So what you get in May might be different than what you get in July from them. But yeah, great concept. And I'm amazed at the coverage they have in Nashville.
Yeah.
all over the city, and
there were 2 near me this weekend on Saturday.
Amazing. I think there was 3 or 4 in Franklin.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's great coverage, and I'm not going to say it's the cheapest price, but they are ripe.
Well, and they are bringing them up.
Right. They're bringing it to you.
Yeah.
So that's what you're paying for.
If you figure that in. And they've got a cookbook I'm kind of interested
that's right.
in.
I'll
just continue to plug them. They're not paying us to do this. But, and June 25th is the Peach Truck Cookbook release. So if you want peach recipes, which we're going to talk about some of those later.
Yeah. There's so many great things you can do with peaches.
Recipes.
Well, there's great peaches all around in the South, but especially deep in the South.
Yes.
And east of us. So I would say Georgia's the peach state, so they're going to obviously have a lot of peaches. Alabama has a good bit, and South Carolina, is my understanding, puts out more peaches to the country than any other state.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So there you go.
Maybe and they should be the peach state.
Different people think different peaches are best. I think we should have a taste off sometime.
Ooh, yeah.
Different ones.
Yeah, because, people do different things with peaches, right? Some
Absolutely.
people only want to just
can them or
just bite into a juicy peach. They don't want it in a cobbler or muddled with other things.
One of my favorite things about summer is literally eating a peach over the sink because it's juicing all over the place.
Yeah.
Like that I can't even do it without leaning over. That is so fun.
There is really, I say this, but then I'm pausing myself as well. I was going to say there's nothing more southern than a fruit stand with peaches.
Seriously.
There are, but...
boiled peanuts and peaches.
Yeah, there's certain even road trips, which again, that's why we thought this makes for a great topic. Is some of these great fruit stands are actually on the way to
the beach. You can literally get them for your trip or on your way home.
Yeah. What do you think are some of the better varieties to do with certain things? Like if you're gonna.
Well, I don't know my varieties by heart.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I did look this up though. So let me say here, to eat right away, it's my understanding that the white flesh scarlet pearl or the southern pearl, because they're really sweet.
Okay.
So those are good ones if that's what your goal is you just want to eat it. Again, different things are ripe in different times though. So wherever you are, maybe ask them like, hey, what would be best for just eating? Or, hey, I'm going to grill these. What would you recommend? Or whatever.
Yeah.
For cobblers, the site that I was reading says Flavor Crest, Harvester, or Topaz.
Okay.
And then if you're canning, you're going to want to wait until around June 20th or later when the freestone season starts. And a freestone is that the flesh breaks cleanly away, which I love that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
So that pit you can easily toss the pit. So those are the ones you want if you're canning.
Yeah.
So there's a few varieties.
That's good to know. Okay. So I have a recipe that you and I came across from Celeste Davis, who runs the Wellness Workshop, and she eats very clean and promotes a lot of healthy dietary choices.
Right.
And part of what I love that she does is she wants you to shift to things based on what you already love. So if you are, if you've got a sweet tooth, she's going to find a recipe for you.
To help you feel satisfied.
To feel satisfied in that sweetness. She
has a great recipe.
Her recipe it's a raw peach cobbler. It is not baked. Is absolutely wonderful. You do not miss 1 ounce of sugar or any.
It's surprising to me.
It is so naturally sweetened. So it's got obviously peaches. It's got a lot of peaches.
Yeah.
I think it calls for 7 or 8 peaches in the recipe. Cinnamon, coconut oil, dates, vanilla, cashews, pecans. You
that dates gives it that.
That's where this major sweetness comes from.
And kind of almost creamy kind of consistency that feels cobblery.
Yes. And you crumble it, like you're going to finely chop or even, blend or pulse those nuts to give it that crumble.
Yeah.
So even the consistency of the whole thing isn't just, match for match. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
So, I'll put that recipe up on our show notes because I think
it's the guilt-free version.
it is so good.
It's not going to be topped with a big old thing of ice cream, but it is really good.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what is topped with ice cream is the other recipe I was going to mention. Shifting gears is the Southern Living grilled peach cobbler. So you actually make this in a cast iron skillet.
Yes, love it.
And it is so wonderfully bubbly when it's ready.
And I love the look of something in a cast iron skillet. It's even pretty.
I do too. So I've made this a few times. In fact, my husband likes making it because it kind of feels like he's grilling.
The grill. He's the grill guy.
Yeah. So I'll put that recipe up as well.
Yeah.
It is
Top it with some Bluebell ice cream.
Bluebell, yes.
Come on with that.
Yes. So good. Well,
I have a couple recipes that I make too. Well, I love to just even grill peaches, like on the side of things.
Put them down.
So good. And then I also have a recipe that I like to make. Sometimes it's just a super simple. So I'm just going to tell you what it is here. Mm-hmm. There's not very many ingredients. You get just a 9 or 10 ounce package of frozen cheese tortellini.
Okay.
Cook that. Boil that. 2 cups of sliced peaches, a medium red bell pepper, and mixed salad greens. So you put all of that on your, that's the salad.
Yeah.
And then it's a vinaigrette that you mix a half a cup of peach preserves, a fourth of a cup of peach vinegar, a tablespoon of finely chopped jalapeno, and a half a cup of olive oil. Mix all that up as your vinaigrette.
That's nice.
And it's so yummy for summertime.
That's
super
nice.
easy, too. So
Lainey only has a handwritten version
so old school.
of this recipe. It's not online anywhere. So
rewind and write it down.
I will take a photo and put it on our Instagram sometime this week so that you can, if you haven't followed along and handwritten that down for yourself, you can later today.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead. What else?
Well, I'm just thinking, on your way to the beach or headed south, wherever you're headed, there's some great stops for peaches in both Alabama and Georgia.
Yes.
And if you're headed east to go over to the Carolinas, there's some great stops. So I just think we should talk.
Absolutely,
where
yeah. So, any old fruit stand will do, usually.
Yes.
But there are some sort of glorified fruit stands and stops that we wanted to highlight.
And if you are in our area headed to Florida, you may know exit 205.
205 Peach Park is what was highlighted to me from our listener, Diane, who's been going down to Seagrove for 20 plus years, I think.
She is awesome.
Yeah, so this is actually family owned and operated. Peach Park opened in 1984. I love that. 1984 by Jean and Francis Gray, and it was a small roadside fruit stand. It's now grown into a barbecue restaurant, bakery with homemade fried pies, cobblers, cakes. It's got a gift shop, which Diane made sure to tell me has tons of U of A, University of Alabama, apparel and
we won't
gifts.
hold that against her. Just kidding.
It is 7 acres, this whole property is. So it's a great rest stop area. They've got areas for kids to play. So on a beach trip, this is definitely a good stop, even if you're not just looking for peaches. Like Diane was saying, winter, spring, summer, fall, this is their stop. Like, they don't just stop here.
And if you don't know where we're talking, but you've driven this, you may have seen the big Clanton, the city's water tower has a huge peach on it.
Yeah, so some folks think that the giant peach you see from I-65 is Peach Park, but that's not actually Peach Park.
Right. I'm just saying that's where we're talking about. There's different stops there.
Yeah. So this is exit 205 off of I-65. And
Chilton County is the county there, and they voted that Peach Park as the best fried peach pie as well. So also really yummy as a fried peach pie. So
this is making me want it. We have peach fulfillment happening through this wonderful cocktail, but I even want more peaches as we're talking. Well, and then
another huge one on that exit is Durbin Farms Market. They usually have 15 varieties of peaches in June.
Stop, 15. So that was maybe everything you mentioned early on in this show, and then some.
And so I'm sure they could tell you based on what you want. They also have homemade peach ice cream there, which is one of my most favorite things in summer. Which, by the way, when the Chick-fil-A peach milkshake comes out in the summertime, it's like, it's good for me to not know that's
true.
Even happened.
That's true.
Because it is so good if you haven't had that. But yeah, peach ice cream. They also have peach pies and different things.
And I forgot to mention, this is just south of Birmingham, this exit, if that helps anyone.
Yeah, but before
Context-wise.
Montgomery.
Yes.
Like in between. And I love this. In the Durbin Farms, they also have the Chilton County Peach Princesses portraits on around the wall.
Stop. Oh my gosh. These are the moments when I'm like, I love this area.
I know. And I, at some point, want to talk. That's one of my subjects I want to talk about is Festival Princesses.
Yes.
I think that is
the
so
pageantry
funny
that
in
accompanies
the South. I love it.
The fairgrounds.
So that's Durbin Farms. Great place to go as well. And then also there's one if you want to do the picking of the peaches. Like if you want to actually get
Sure.
and do that. There's a place called Culp Fruits. You pick. Same county area there.
Okay.
So if you want to pick, there's a place where you can do that. There's also the Chilton County Peach Festival Parade.
Oh, wow.
On June the 28th, if anybody wants
so
to
if you
hit
happen
that.
to be coming through in June.
And I'm sure the new Peach Princess would love to wave at you
That
at the
is so
parade.
great.
So anyway, there's a little bit about
All things peaches.
in Alabama.
Yes.
That's the Alabama places. Do you want me to talk more about...
Do you have anything if we're going in another direction? Or?
If you're headed the Georgia way,
Yeah.
down, you're going to... Most of the peaches there are near Macon, so and
Okay.
south of there.
Okay.
So pretty far down.
That's-
We're past Atlanta.
That's deep
pretty good down
into Georgia,
way
yes.
down there. Lane South Orchards was one that I read
Okay.
about. Dickey Farms in Musella.
Okay.
Pearson Farm in Fort Valley, and Taylor Orchards in Reynolds.
Okay.
So there's some different places in Georgia you could hit.
Nice.
And then if you're headed east from here or wherever you live, I don't know
Right.
what direction you would be
Exactly,
headed.
yeah.
But South Carolina is known for a lot of peaches. And I found a couple of just stories that cracked me up about South Carolina. There's a place called Cooley Springs. It's 6 miles west of Chesney. It's close to the North Carolina line.
Okay.
Place called James and the Killer Bees. It is. I love this so
I'm
much.
intrigued.
James Cooley. Okay, let's see here. Cheerful countenance and constant traffic. The barn has the look of a political rally or a country fair instead of a farm market, which suits James Cooley just fine. He says, when they hit the brakes, I know I've got a chance, says the third-generation farmer. If they see something that makes them slow down and take a look, there's a chance they'll turn in. If they ever stop, I'm going to sell them a peach.
There you go.
And I thought this was just so cute. It says, it's clear that this place is blessed by a woman's touch.
Interesting.
In the shade of the barn, white tables sit covered with red checkered tablecloths and heavy with produce. As soon as customers exit their cars, they're piled with free samples and showered with plain old Southern hospitality. This is where a father of 4 girls counts his blessings. This is what he says.
Stop.
His wife, Kathy, and daughters, Brandy, Brooke, Brittany, and Bethany. That's the Killer Bees.
Okay,
It's all
the bees. Got it.
They help out with the family business outside of the building. Everybody around these parts knows about the Killer Bees. It says, no doubt, many a customer has been charmed into buying more produce than intended. The people who, and this is one of the daughters, Brandy. This is a quote from her. I love what I do. The people who come here make it all worthwhile. She's a recent Clemson University graduate. It says so many of the customers are like family because they've watched us grow up. We love our customers, and in return, they love us back. So he's got these girls all working this stand, and I just thought that was so adorable.
I feel like I'm listening to the setting of a Fannie Flagg book.
Absolutely.
In fact, I read a Fannie Flagg book last summer that was called The All Girls Filling Station.
Okay.
And it was this dad that had a gas station
And the girls work
and
there?
all the girls
Love
work
it.
there. Even one was like a mechanic. Like she learned how to work on the cars. Yeah.
I love that.
So great.
I love it. And then a couple other ones that I read about. There's a family called the McLeods who have been, let's see, they say my granddad planted the first peaches in 1916.
Whoa.
And they've been selling them ever since. So their place is, sorry,
That's okay.
change my notes here.
You've had a lot on your list.
McBee, South Carolina is where they are, the McLeods.
Okay.
Sounds like a good Scottish family.
And these might be small towns.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like
I'm
they
guessing.
are. So it's also nice to support their economy, in
That's
my opinion.
right. I know. And just the generations that have gone on of doing this. And one other one was the old-fashioned roadside stand, Cook's Roadside Market, 50 miles southeast of Columbia, South Carolina,
Okay.
on US 25 in Edgefield County. All of these had cute little stories, but I won't go into every detail.
There
But
should be a website. Is there not? GreatFruitStands.com?
there totally should be. I don't know if that exists, but
CuteFruitStands.com? I don't know.
something. Yeah, so
That's
get
cool.
some peaches.
Yeah, get some
and make
peaches.
some yummy things and enjoy.
And it sounds to me like you've got time, right? Like
Oh,
I'm hearing a
absolutely.
lot
We're
of
on the
June.
beginning.
We're just starting
tapping
out.
in. In fact,
so
many of the varieties aren't even ripe
if
yet.
you've listened to this even a few weeks after it's been out, you're
may be
still
good
in
to
good
go.
standing. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. So that's the peaches, and now we're going to talk about the beaches.
Yes.
So there's one thing I do think that Southern people do well. Not one thing. There's so
So
many
many
things.
things.
I think we do beaches really well. And that became evident when I sat down to think through what beaches do I want to highlight, because there were actually a lot.
Well, even think about the layout of the South. Almost every state in the South has a coast.
I know, and that's funny that I'm saying this as an inland
Person,
state.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, Texas has beaches, Louisiana has, I mean, like, if you go around, of course, Florida, practically the whole thing is.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we do have lots of choices. The East Coast has their choices. But, yeah, we've only got lakes here.
In Tennessee. But I love the beach. You're okay with it in increments, which you were going to mention.
Yeah. I think you need to know your vacation style. When you're planning a beach trip,
Absolutely.
what do you love?
Who's going?
Right.
What's the plan? Like, what are you hoping to do,
Do we have
or
kids?
not do?
Do we have dogs? Are we?
What's your budget? What do you want? What can you spend?
All of these things matter. And we've done lots of different variety, I think. But I'm just the type, I love to just sit and read and relax for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I need some things to
You
see.
need
I
something
need
else to
culture.
do.
I need museums. So I'm going to lean on picking beaches that have that.
Right.
Around.
that are
close
less
by.
beach only
Yeah.
towns. So let's start with Charleston.
Yes.
That's a good one to start with.
Yes.
Because it is very much both beach town and
All things glorious.
all things glorious. Yes. But it's got so much culture that if you didn't spend one day at the beach even,
If you
would
love
be
photography,
completely
you'd be-
satisfied.
yeah,
But even if
so
you
much to
only
see.
went to do the beaches,
Yeah,
you would
they're
also be
great.
completely
That's right.
satisfied. So Charleston is interesting because it is multiple islands.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore each of those beaches on those islands have varying personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like when you go out to visit these wineries out in Napa or some of the
While there's
distilleries.
similarities,
like
there
it draws
is difference.
it draws a certain age group sometimes, or economic status even. I'll talk about that for sure here in a minute.
Well, in the, long time ago, if you were the wealthy families, even in the Northeast, you usually had a home in Charleston.
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah.
the place in the South that was kind of a hub and a port and all that. But anyway.
So Charleston is interesting from here in Nashville because we now have direct flights. So even getting to Charleston is much
now
more
easy.
achievable. I used to make the drive because I had 2 friends that the summer after summer of 2003, we all had one more semester of college. and because we didn't finish on time, and they moved there with hopes to put some roots down. So they just got summer jobs. So I went to visit them. So it's very nostalgic for me just because I've been going since 2003.
Yeah.
So I used to make the drive, and it was a drive. It was like 9 hours from Nashville. So when they opened that direct flight up,
beach. Yeah.
I was all about it. And I even looked it up. In June, you could get a round trip flight for $320.
Okay.
That's for a summer flight round trip. I feel like that was pretty fair. That's the nonstop. So I would nominate Folly Beach, which is just south of Charleston. And should I talk about each one?
Yeah, let's just chat about all those.
Okay. So
I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to some.
Yeah. So Folly is...
I think the name says a lot.
It's Folly.
Doesn't it? It's just fun and silly and...
surfers, a lot of surfers.
College students.
In fact, the surf bar out at Folly Beach is one of the best dive bars I've come across. I've even seen it appear in Southern Living now. Love it. It's on the radar now, but back then it wasn't. Yeah, I just feel like it's no matter what age, because you see, guys in their 30s, 40s, 50s out there surfing. Like it has a young people vibe, but it's not necessarily just college kids. So anyway, I would say Folly Beach has to be on there. The Lost Dog Cafe is a breakfast and lunch spot out there. So great. Just very, a lot of organic choices.
Okay.
But just a great beach hang for an awesome cup of coffee. And again, laid back, grab lunch at Bert's Market, go out to the beach all day. They have really awkward parking lots, but I feel like if you stick with it and you find an area you want to be in, you'll figure it out.
And there's some, homes to rent as well.
Yes.
Not just...
good beach houses.
Yeah, screen porch kind of...
with all kinds of personality.
Yeah.
Not just high-rise condos. In fact, there's no high-rise condos out there. There's one hotel. But yeah, it's mostly beachfront, too.
Yeah,
a lot of beachfront properties that you can get on Airbnb or VRBO. Yeah. So yeah, I love Folly.
We need to do that with Jacob.
The laid back surfer side of things. Mm-hmm. It almost feels like you're not in Charleston because you're so far removed from all the historic charm.
But yet you're not for people like me
me
that want to go eat at the foodie places and take pictures of the old historic architecture and so that's a great that's a great place.
love Folly Beach. It's just south of Charleston.
And then Isle of Palms is there in the Charleston area as well. That's a great beach. Even has some places, where you can, public beaches where you can park and go.
Yeah.
I would say it's a little more she than Folly.
Yeah.
It's going to probably draw a little bit older crowd. There's golfing there. You know how golfing will kind of bring a different vibe.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know what else to say, but I like that area. I will say there's no alcohol allowed on the beach. Obviously the restaurants have it.
Okay.
You were saying, how do they monitor that? I don't know, and I don't know how strictly they do, but that does change a vibe of a beach. So if you're going to have college party people, they're going to Folly. They're probably not going to Isle of Palms.
Yeah.
And that could be good or bad, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah. So then the other, I would say, two other spots. One I don't have a ton to say about because I've only been out there when it was cold, so I didn't actually even spend any time on the beach. But Sullivan's Island is a great island and beach area. I went to the Obstinate Daughter, which is a great foodie restaurant out there. So, again, like we've said, even if you're not beaching, these are some really great areas to even find yourself. It was March, and it was really cold. So we didn't even go out to the beach. And then the other I would mention is Kiowa Island. I first heard of Kiowa when HGTV was doing a Dream Home out there. They gave away one. And it's further south than Folly. So at this point, you're you're a good distance from Charleston, but you're still
Now, it's all private, though.
in the area.
Beaches.
It is very private. It is very upscale. There's a lot
also
of
golfing there.
There's a lot of closed off areas. Parking is very limited. Like I
Okay.
feel like there's one parking lot.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's big on tennis,
We got
too.
waitlisted on a parking lot. Have you ever been
gosh.
waitlisted
I
on a
don't
parking
know
lot?
that I have.
Because I have. So they literally took our name and number down, and we
We'll
went
let
to
you
the
know.
Harris Teeter to start our grocery shopping.
So
That's a good idea too.
Yeah. Get on the wait list.
Go get on the wait list
And
if
then-
you see, and then go back to Harris Teeter and get your groceries to take out to the beach. Yeah, it's primarily, golfing. I mean, it's people that own the homes out there, so
right.
they're not really wanting a lot of public
Yeah.
beachgoers. But it's beautiful.
That's
It's
cool.
really beautiful. What else would you say about Charleston beaches?
That's all I was going to say on that. But, yeah, there's definitely more South Carolina I want to talk. But,
Yeah,
we're both big fans of the whole Charleston scene. So.
absolutely, 100%. If East Coast Atlantic Ocean is on your radar, I would highly recommend Charleston as one of your beach options.
Absolutely.
Okay. Where
Stick
else?
in South Carolina.
Yeah.
I love Hilton Head. I still love Hilton Head. I
Yes.
haven't been in a while. I have a real dear friend that lives there, Becca. Shout out. Whoop, whoop. So she even gave me some restaurants now. Because, things change.
They
and
do.
So, anyway. Hilton Head, the first time I went to Hilton Head was in high school. And
Okay.
I loved that beach because there wasn't a lot of touristy feel to it. It's also, lots of residents there.
Yep.
So they have a lot of beach volleyball. There's a place called Tiki Hut where you can do beach volleyball. And we did that when I was there on that trip. And we had so much fun doing that. And you meet other people. There's a lot of kayaking on Skull Creek or Broad Creek. The Harbor Town area is real cute.
Okay.
Restaurants, Hudson's on the docks, and Up the Creek restaurant or two. And I think
That's a cute name.
so cute. And don't you just love, I remember places like this in Hilton Head, but really every beach has them. Just where you can go in your flip-flops and
Yes.
a little dress thrown over your bathing suit and eat, some good seafood and, just such a casual vibe. I love that feel. There is also that, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, Dafuski Island that seems to have a lot of cute shops and things like that. I've looked at them on Instagram, and it seems like there's just a lot of cute things there. That's in the same Hilton Head area. So big fan of Hilton Head Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Hilton Head is just north of Charleston, right?
It is actually south of Charleston, north of Savannah.
Oh, it's right in between them.
So there's
okay.
Charleston, then you keep going down Beaufort, Hilton Head, then you come to Savannah. Then if you keep going down, you get into Georgia, like St. Simon's, Jekyll, Cumberland Island, Amelia Island.
And is Tybee Island down there? I've heard of
Tybee is also a Georgia, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure where it falls. It's not on this little.
We
thing I'm
had
looking at.
we had some people when we were mentioning that we were going to be talking about this that had
left
some
Tybee.
passion around Amelia, Jekyll,
Yes.
and yeah.
Well, Amelia, I was just reading an article that John Grisham wrote that he fell in love with Amelia Island and has built a place there. They've been going for a while, and they decided to build a place there. So,
Well, that's
says a lot. 'Cause
Good
he could
endorsement.
probably build a place wherever he wants at
He
this
sure
point.
could. Wow.
Yeah, so that's getting into Florida.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
and then I'm sorry, I know it's touristy, but there's something that I still
I know
hold
what you're
dear
gonna
with the
say.
Myrtle Beach. I'm
You were
sorry,
gonna
I know
say.
people think it's so touristy, but I'm just endeared
I know. Well,
with the Shag.
with Shag, we've been there on some really special vacations with family and friends. Yeah.
It's
endearing.
It's endearing because of some of the people I've been with there too.
And yeah, if you're listening to this and we're not calling out your favorite beach, it may be because you have it may be for various
Many
reasons.
reasons. We may
but
have just not been.
Your passion may be because of the people that you go with. It
Yeah.
may have nothing to do with the sand
So
or
true.
the restaurants.
So
it may just
true.
be that was where you learned how to fish as a young child.
Yes,
Or, who knows?
That's right. And I'm not going to, gosh, there's so many beaches, again, because of where the South, so many of the southern states touch. But I don't want to get past saying I dream of going to the Outer Banks in North Carolina. I've never been.
So I gave it honorable mention.
It is
only because
not easy to get to.
I haven't been, and I don't know when I'm gonna because it's so hard to get to.
Yeah.
But I would love to see those wild horses
No,
running on the beach.
those Mustangs out there, and just there's no. It is you rent houses. I mean, it's not, high rises and all of that, which again adds to the just calmness and sereneness of the beach.
Yeah,
But if anybody wants to take me to Outer Banks, I'm willing to go.
She's ready. You just have to drive her there too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's no flying right to it, so it does get a mention, but neither you or I
haven't
have
been, so it's hard to highlight much of it, except for the fact that it sounds great. Okay, should we go 65 South?
Let's do it.
Okay.
This is we have been to a lot of beaches,
Yes.
and you can quote me as saying, as far as just the prettiness of the sand and water, it doesn't get better than the Panhandle of Florida.
No. The Gulf of Mexico Panhandle that we're about to talk about are the most gorgeous beaches.
Other than like the Caribbean, which it looks like the
I've actually
Caribbean.
heard many people compare it, that
To
it
the
looks
Caribbean.
exactly the same. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've been to 3 Caribbean spots.
And it's
And
that pretty.
It's very similar, yeah.
So let's go there.
Okay. So, but first we'll just have to make the joke that there is a highway that we'll talk about here in a second called 30A, and you've seen the stickers if you've been in the South very long because there are so...
Since 1995, I have a little,
So,
yeah.
that sticker all of a sudden became so popular, I guess around
Especially in the area where we live.
2005 and to present
Something
is
like
what I'm
that.
going to guess. That was also the time when hot yoga
Was real big.
becoming really popular. So
This is so funny.
I don't know why, but for the longest time, I thought 30A was like a hot yoga.
Because you would see
Thing.
minivans everywhere with this blue
Yeah.
sticker that had 30 and the
And the sun
O
was the O. So I
right,
thought it was like
30A.
a hot yoga. I think it makes sense.
It totally
They
does.
both became popular about the same time. But
I think that is
at
so
some
funny.
point it dawned on me that these are people that vacation down.
I think I said something about 30A, and you were like, wait a minute, is that? I thought that was a hot yoga place, and I'm like, what?
It was
So hilarious.
It was the sunshine.
But let's predate 30A.
yeah.
Because, even when we started hearing 30A, we're like, what about,
Panama-
we grew up going to PCB.
Panama City Beach has been alive and well for decades. Yeah.
And Destin.
that's where you and I both spring braked,
Yes.
right? That's where you
Some
would have
of-
gone. You would have
I
gone.
went to Hilton Head one time.
Okay. Daytona?
And Daytona and South Padre. I've been everywhere.
That's for a different show. Okay.
Well, I didn't do Ibiza like you, my
that's
goodness.
true.
But anyway.
Panama City was definitely a place that our
The
family
beach that I thought of
would have gone.
like that. Yeah, that was the main one.
Yeah.
that we went to. So
that was pre 30A, but we do have a love for, like you were saying, the Gulf of Mexico.
yes,
that Panhandle.
Destin, Fort Walton. Yeah, those are just beautiful to me.
So I would say one beach that I'm very curious about down there that I haven't been to, but I feel like I've been to because I've been to the others around it, is that Orange Beach, Alabama.
Yes.
People are loving Orange Beach.
Now
They're
that's
loving it because it's
Alabama, though.
I know.
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah.
I went 65
yeah.
South.
You're right. You're right. Okay.
And yeah, they're loving it because it's very affordable
And
to stay.
Yeah.
It's the white sand. It's the, crystal blue waters.
now, it's a little closer to Gulf Shores, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
which
under
we've been to.
It's under 7 hours to drive from Nashville to Orange Beach.
okay.
That's enticing.
And there's some great golfing there as well. Like some of my golfing friends love to go to Gulf Shores and Orange Beach
okay.
for golfing.
Okay.
One guy that I know, I swear he could play golf anywhere he wanted to. And one of his favorite places is Kiva Dunes Golf Course.
Okay.
So.
And I've heard there's lots of like water sports clubs stuff down there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could be active, not just, you know, I guess I'm saying that
Yeah.
you've got like
things to do.
a family
outdoor.
or a group that's wanting to be more active than just sit on the beach.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a lot to do there.
And I even like sometimes at the beach to find those like eco tours where you can go see like some of the pelicans and flamingos and stuff.
Manatee
like,
tour.
Depending on where you are,
Yeah.
like what the, those are fun.
Love Destin, Florida. That's
Destin,
now
yeah.
what we were originally talking about.
Yeah.
White sand like no other. I mean, it is sugar. It is take your
It is.
bag of sugar out of the pantry, pour it outside, and that's the sand that you'll be stepping out onto.
And there's some places down there that have dog beaches in Panama City and different things if you have your dogs with you. Lots to do for kids.
Yeah.
In Panama City and Destin, the
Great outlet mall. In case you've got
Yes.
rain, Destin has an
good to
awesome
have
outlet
if you
mall.
have children to have some things to do.
Yeah.
Putt-putt, all that kind of stuff that goes along with beach.
Hermit
life.
crabs.
Free hermit crabs. What was I going to say? What are the T-shirts? Airbrush.
Airbrush t-shirts,
I'm
tattoos, piercings.
All those things that go with the beach. Seafood buffets.
Yeah.
I think of that with Myrtle Beach. But anyway, I digress.
Well, and I would mention one beach that I never hear anything about. So here's your free pro tip. I have found that there is an area called Carillon Beach Resort. It's labeled as Panama City address,
Okay.
but it's actually really close to Rosemary Beach. So it's right where 30A starts
Okay.
on the east side,
Okay.
I guess. Carillon Beach has a resort. It is very affordable. They've got the hotel, or I guess they would consider them condos. That's a high rise.
Okay.
It has 2 awesome pools, and surrounding that is a neighborhood of all homes that
Okay.
are for rent. So if you're looking for
Okay.
a larger, I haven't priced those out ever. I don't know what
Okay.
those rent for, but if you're looking for 4 to 5 people to be in a condo, that Carillon Beach is very affordable. So I've stayed
Good
there a
to
couple
know.
of times.
Okay.
Pools, hot tubs, walking distance to they've got restaurants on the property. There's a Publix across the street you would walk over to if you needed to. I mean,
Well, I think
good.
one of the things people love about 30A, Rosemary Beach, that was developed in 1995.
yeah,
Very walkable
so cute.
to places. You can bike. Not a whole lot of need for a car once you're there.
No,
So
they've got great restaurants.
they do. They do. Yeah.
They're kind of foodie-ish.
They are.
So that seems almost weird to me when I'm at the beach. I just feel like you're eating seafood or turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
I love the fresh seafood you can get at coastal
like
places.
you're eating a lot
So
of Pringles
Yeah.
and seafood by night. I don't know. But yeah, Rosemary is super quaint.
Lots of shishi shops, and to me, I jokingly say Rosemary Beach is Franklin South. It's like even a lot of the same families go there.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's
There's all kind. I mean, all along through there, there's Alice Beach, named for the developer's wife, all white.
it looks almost like Greece or something.
It's beautiful. I mean,
gorgeous.
even if you're just staying in one of the beaches down there, it's worth
Watercolor.
it to take a drive and
see the
make sure you
different-
see the others.
Same thing. It's like just different vibes and the different. But Seaside's probably the oldest of those, right?
I think so.
the-
And Seaside, just for people that haven't been there or haven't even seen pictures, is like literally picture perfect.
Yeah,
Like Truman Show
yeah. Was
filmed
there. That's right.
That's how picture perfect Seaside
Seaside.
is. But fun.
Yeah.
Like great donut shops and very family friendly. I think that's what I would mostly want to convey about this area that
Yeah.
we're describing. All of the Panhandle Gulf area is very family friendly.
yeah.
Okay. The rain.
Summer downpour.
The rain has come.
Okay, what about other areas of Florida?
Okay, so
we're going to know the Panhandle the best, but there's personality all around.
Yeah.
Some of which I'll skip from my list because I don't like the personality. Some of it, but
well, I have an area that it was fun to me, but I'm almost embarrassed to admit how much fun I had because I really feel like it's more for older people.
Gorgeous, though.
Do you already know what I'm going to say?
Yeah,
Captiva.
Yeah.
Okay, so Captiva Island, Sanibel Island, and even all the way down to Naples. So you would have hit Fort Myers by that time. That's a really pretty area, but it's also upscale. It's still in the Gulf of Mexico, so you're still seeing a lot of the pretty sand and waters. So we're talking Southwest Florida. These would be a flight from here, from Nashville. I actually snuck into the Ritz-Carlton in Naples. I mean, it was that high end, just because I wanted to see,
what it looked like.
But it was very protected. Every sort of property and area was
had
very
its own
private.
Yeah.
Great sightseeing tours, great wildlife. I would say
known for their shelling.
They are. So Sanibel Island is
seashells,
literally marked as or considered the best shelling spot in North America.
Okay.
According to Travel and Leisure magazine.
Okay.
So I went there. There's so many people that come just to collect seashells that they have what's called the Sanibel Stoop. Which is just, seeing people bent over all day long.
That's cute.
Getting their shells. But,
great fishing, great paddleboarding, that kind of thing there.
Really cool and very eclectic and weird restaurant out there called The Bubble Room.
Okay.
I looked it up to make sure it's still open. It is. They say it's Christmas all year long there. I mean, it's just very eclectic. Imagine, what you would think of just a weird aunt in her house of portraits everywhere that don't match anything, and it's just like a Mardi Gras party in there. But if you do go, and I recommend going, get the Orange Crunch cake. Oh my gosh, it's a yellow cake layered with almond brown sugar, and then it's covered with this orange cream cheese icing.
Yum.
It's won awards. It's so good. Bubble Room.
Orange Crunch cake?
Yeah.
Not Orange Crush.
Orange Crunch. Orange Crunch. It's because it does kind of have a little crunch to it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Captiva, Sanibel, and Naples.
Absolutely.
You have to consider those.
Mentioning. Couple people that I know love St. George Island and Cape San Blas, which are off similar area. Siesta Key is near Sarasota. A lot of people love Siesta Key.
Okay. I haven't been there. That sounds fun.
I haven't been there either. I am not a fan just of the general vibe of the whole Miami Boca Raton thing.
See, now we're getting into an area that
doesn't feel like the South.
Is it questionable, or it's questionable if it is the South?
Yeah. When you get
We've just lost some listeners. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's just so different. It does seem like culturally it doesn't match up with the
slow and the southern
hospitality
that we love.
Yeah.
So. Anything else? I mean, I think if you're talking fishing, like if you're a fisher, a lover of fishing, you got to go to the Keys. I mean, it's not feeling very southern, but that's where the best fishing is. It's kind of got its own vibe.
Yeah.
Also, best places for saltwater fishing that I looked up.
Okay.
PCB, Panama City.
Love it.
Outer Banks.
Okay.
Virginia Beach, which I've heard is pretty cool.
I could see that.
And even Southeast Louisiana and Galveston, Texas.
For fishing?
For fishing.
Okay.
Saltwater fishing.
Okay.
So there's I wanted to mention that for some of our people who love that. And then I just had a couple lists, if you don't mind, that I wanted to read, because if you're planning a trip. Actually, just in April, Southern Living had a list of the best beach towns Which to me is kind of a fun list because it's not saying best beach. It's the best beach town.
It's the whole town.
And for somebody who likes more than just the beach, this was important to me. And I thought the list was very interesting.
Okay.
Number 1, Hilton Head Island.
There you go.
Number 2, Destin, Florida.
Okay.
Number 3, Panama City, Florida.
Okay.
Number 4, Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, which I don't think is far from Outer Banks.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not positive of that. Number 5, Orange Beach.
Oh, see.
Alabama. A lot of them we mentioned here. Number 6, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Number 7, Gulf Shores, Alabama. Number 8, St. Simon's Island, Georgia. Number 9, Pawleys Island, South Carolina.
Okay, I've heard of that.
And number 10, Isle of Palms, South Carolina. So how funny that a lot of our list.
I think it's really funny that both Panama City and
Destin are on there. And they're number 2 and number 3.
But it's kind of right because they're very different.
They're very different
from each other.
So
you could do them both very easily on one trip.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And
then a couple other lists that I thought, again, it kind of verified kind of some of the things that we thought.
Come on.
Yes. The Travel Channel has the top 10 beaches in America.
Oh, okay.
So I was only going to mention the southern ones. Number 2, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay.
Number 5 was Clearwater, Florida.
Okay.
Which is also beautiful.
Yeah.
I've been there. And number 10 is Cape Hatteras, which is in the Outer Banks.
Okay.
So that's the 3 that Travel Channel had in their top 10.
Ones. Okay.
Because, I mean, they've even got several in Hawaii and,
Absolutely.
So, if you're looking at America, that's pretty dang good that we got 3. And then TripAdvisor, I thought that's an interesting one to look at because people are picking.
That's true. People's Choice Awards.
And so in their top, I don't remember if it was 15, I can't remember, but here's the ones from the South. Number 1, Clearwater, Florida. Number 3, Panama City.
Okay.
Number 4, St. Pete, Florida.
Okay.
St. Petersburg. Number 5, Pensacola, Florida. Number
also near Panama City.
That's right. Number 6 was Siesta Key.
Okay.
Florida. Number 8, St. Augustine.
I want to go there.
I want to go there too. Never been. Tons of history.
Yeah.
With being so old.
Yeah.
For our country.
Yeah.
So old. And number 9, Fort Lauderdale. So that's the TripAdvisor's top list. Those were the southern ones.
Disagree with Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to have to put a pause on that one.
I don't know who picked those, but
they didn't ask me,
so
that's why I didn't get nominated. Well, that was a good list.
Yeah,
I think we've thrown out some good accolades, and I feel like there's always somehow new beaches popping up in popularity.
How that happens, I'm not sure.
I don't either, but I guess as new places get developed, there's new attention drawn to it. So next year we may have a very different opinion if there's something else that's popped up. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's episode.
Peaches and Beaches.
Peaches and Beaches. That's a wrap. We are so thankful that you joined us here. And again, we hope that you will subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. And make sure, if you are enjoying it, to share it with a friend and give us a nice review on Apple Podcasts. Yes, that
helps very much. And go see Steel Magnolias in the theater this week.
Yeah.
Go to Fathom Events to get your tickets.